a track for him. I don't know if Ari will be able to get around Matt. We saw Josh get around his dad, Andy, earlier, but Matt is not going to give an inch to his daughter.
I don't know. If you want to play some money on that, partner.
I like Matt out front. I think
You do?
he's just old cagey, and he is a competitor. He won't give her a break for a second.
Okay.
But she's pushing him hard.
Right.
That'll be interesting to see how this.
Ladies, send your cards and letters care of Eddie Wood to SWX.
I'm rooting for her. I'd like to see her get it because he's always trying to win everything he's ever been in, and she is right on his tailpipe there. So that's wide corner there for Matt, and maybe he's. Look how nice he was. Look at that. He's coming back. That's about as nice as you ever seen Matt James race in your life.
That was a pass for first place and one of the nicest passes we have ever seen in racing.
That was a courtesy there. He's letting his daughter out front, so good for you, Matt. He's softening up in his old age.
Matt James, Ari James. Ari out in front of Matt right now as they head back up the hill. The 66. I believe, let's see, do I have a 66? I don't know. Might have been Cherie Howell.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
S2. But yeah, Ari out front now, so she's rolling along, and she's on that Mako. So that's right up on her, though, and then we'll see any slip up, and he'll be right by.
Yeah, there's a good race there. Back at the pack there as the 2. There's a 68 and a 69. That's Tia Flynn and Ellen Gormans in the intermediate class. Those two riding side by side, and that is a race for first place in the women's intermediate class. They've got Bill Rianda right in between them too, and Bill has the wide load sign, and a couple of bikes coming together up on the top of the course.
Yeah, some of the women riders went together. Looks like that's the number 9. There was Shauna Genova that went down.
Shauna Genova, one of those riders down, and it looks like the 312 of Nancy Richards, the 57 of Debbie Poole pulling off the track as well with technical problems. Well, let's see what happens here. You had your money on Matt James. I said Ari James could pull this out, and it looks like Matt's going to take another run at first place. And boy, look at the power
of the Triumph
of that Triumph Twin coming on.
Yeah, he really got on it. That's the fastest section of the course. Obviously, it's dead straight up there, and he could really let the power, bring that thing out and let some power go. So that was good.
It's father versus daughter out on the track right now, and father couldn't be happier and prouder. Are you kidding me?
What a fun day for them. It's such a neat thing to be able to see some of these families obviously spend the time together, but then also just such a unique opportunity where you're riding and racing machinery like this against your own siblings. So pretty neat deal.
Some of the legendary racers that you'll see out here at this track at any given time, any given period. We mentioned John DeSoto, the Flying Hawaiian, Dick Mann, not only a Hall of Famer, but a 2-time champion in his own right. You've got none other than Ryan VILLOPOTO's dad's here, father, as well as his grandfather who races out here, Fred VILLOPOTO.
That's neat to see.
I went to see a race one time at Fishkill, New York, and then Davilo Ski Ranch, I think, in New York. I went to spectate, and I hung on the fence like everybody else and said, I can do that. And then I went and bought a race bike and started racing. Well, I discovered vintage racing 2.5 years or so ago, and I just fell in love with it. Just absolutely. And then, you know, on top of that, it's much safer. You don't have to do the jumps. I've gotten hurt bad 3 times in my life, and it's only on jumps.
A couple of more turns here for Matt Howell as they are just about to complete the circuit. And problems for the 312 of Nancy Richards right in front of the finish line as Matt starts to make his way into the tighter S turns.
Looks like he's going to take that victory. Looks like I predicted.
Oh, you predicted it.
Predicted. Matt James, he just teasing her a little bit, letting her have
you didn't predict it without sweating it a little bit, and that's all we care about.
Never a doubt.
Ari James takes second behind him.
Good run for those guys, though. That was a fun race. father-daughter race there, and 1 and 2, and fun for them to get out on the track and let that old Triumph rip along, and that Mako of hers. Those are some neat bikes.
And let's take it down to the winner's circle, the Fasteners Incorporated winner's circle with Bruce Deming and the James family.
So was that a courtesy pass there earlier?
By my daughter?
Yes.
No, she got around me, and she was running the fast line. I had to follow her to see it.
Yeah.
Getting too old. I can't remember the corners, Bruce.
Looked like you had a little horsepower on her, though.
A little bit, probably.
Yeah. Well, one of these days I'll get her side of the story.
Yeah. No, you get it, because I think she's faster than Dad now.
Well, you got the first, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Right,
we'll see how the second moto goes.
All right.
Back with more race coverage on SWX right after these words. Classic 500 experts up on the line, along with our intermediates and our Premier 350 experts here in Fairfield, Washington on SWX Vintage Motocross Racing. Rubber band start, and here comes the first turn.
Some big bikes. You'll hear the sound difference of this one. These 500s will really be deep throaty. Oh yeah, you can hear it just going up that hill.
Thundering all the way up the hill. Dave Bachmeyer out of Spanaway, Washington, riding the BSA. We've got, let's see, 6 BSAs just in the Classic 500 expert class alone.
It's their wheelhouse there for the BSA. Those old big 500s that they've got. There's a lot of them.
Amazing, because of the fact that you've only got one other brand of motorcycle in that class, and that's the Mako of Jeff Mullins.
Boy, they really sound neat. Well, you can really hear the difference. We've been having a lot of some of those 125 and 250 classes, and when you get those 500s out there, they are deep, throaty, two-stroke, loud.
Puts the thump in your chest there.
Yeah, it's a pretty clear, sunny day out here, but it sounded like some thunder going up that hill for sure.
One of our volunteers that not only helps run the farm out here at Rattlers Run, but also helps run the event, Al Anderberg. He's riding out there on the 7X out of Beardale, Washington on the BSA. We mentioned Jeff Mullins out of Sunnyvale, California, Silicon Valley. He's riding the Mako of the 4X here today. Your leader, that's Dave Bachmeyer on the number 20B out of Spanaway, Washington. Jim Cole on the 87U out of Chehalis.
There's a Chehalis rider right there, so somebody that's obviously a vintage loving rider. Jim Cole that made his way over from Chehalis, who also has a great vintage race every year.
Bill Stuth on the 92X out of Napa Valley. And Travis Anderberg, another one of the Anderberg's son. That's Brian Anderberg's son. Travis Anderberg on the 301 out of Vancouver, Washington. Once again on a BSA.
Bachmeyer's pulled up there with have a pretty good lead. He's got about the length of that uphill climb there as a lead now. That thing's got a lot of power. The 58-year-old Bachmeyer with a nice lead.
There's the 79 of Bill Rowland Jr. riding the Premier 350 Expert class. Now, there's a little bit of a change in CCs. You don't see a lot of 350s these days, even though they're making a comeback.
Everything on this motorcycle has been touched, and it's been made different. I mean, actually different than what it was originally. All this is a mix of parts from an array of motorcycles that are 74 and older. That's how the class is. So it's got some CR parts, and it's got some Husqvarna parts, and it's got just an array of parts. You just hand make all this stuff. All of this stuff here is welded to this frame to stiffen the back end so the bike doesn't flex out of control. The front end has been cut, and the front wheel's been pushed out further so it's more stable at high speed. It's just, this is a late style seat. Everything plastic and aluminum and titanium that you can find, that's what you put on.
As the 4X of Jeff Mullins on the Mako leads this group of riders, the 301 of Travis Anderberg, Ron Yamamoto on the number 3RX.
Yeah, that's been a good battle. That group that's kind of clustered up together there, that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth group there is really tight, and that's been some of the best racing on the track. Because out front, boy, I'm telling you, Bachmeyer, he's just cruising along. He's on a Sunday afternoon vintage cruise.
One of the things you probably won't see today, and we can't guarantee this, but you're not going to see a lot of lapped riders.
No, that's true. I mean, it's not enough time with only five laps, but
Ooh, boy. Oh, Anderberg almost stalls it. That opens the door for Yamamoto. Anderberg getting around Jeff Mullins in the 500 expert class.
that tightened it up there, but it kind of was a tight enough corner that even though we kind of botched it a little bit going through there, it basically all it did was bottle them up a little more and not an area where somebody could get around on the outside. That's another off-camber kind of situation.
Well, it is Travis Anderberg on the BSA. Stephen Newell out of Bend, Oregon, also on a BSA out there. Number 648, Bill Stuth on the 92X BSA. Jim Cole on a BSA. Bachmeyer on a BSA, your leader. Al Anderberg also on a BSA out there. We mentioned a lot of BSAs.
Yeah, this is their class. There's Bachmeyer. He's taking the white flag now as he heads around for his final lap. 301 now in second place of Anderberg. It's got a solid second spot there. Mullins and then Yamamoto.
And Yamamoto still working that bike. Look at him,
just
all over the place on that seat. And I got to mention that seat is about as big as Ronnie himself. That seat on that
like
Triumph, that's a park bench.
Yeah.
On that Triumph.
Yeah, he's hanging off the back of that thing every time you see him on it.
David Bachmeyer makes his way through the upper portion of the course, now heads downhill. This is where it gets a little tricky for these bikes. Not all these bikes got the big knobby tires.
Yeah,
and here comes Yamamoto trying to work around Jeff Mullins.
Back outside, yep. He's trying to get on the inside here, and at any moment he's going to start sliding in the back of that. There he goes.
Just take a look at that seat.
It's huge.
My goodness, that's a surfboard.
Yeah, this is a little bit slower section of the course where he doesn't have to battle so much to try to get that horsepower connection and the hookup there.
Man, what an entertaining race to watch. There's Travis Anderberg. Final lap in this race as your leader, David Bachmeyer, on the number 20B BSA, now makes his way just a couple more turns, and boy, another lap. Travis Anderberg's got him.
Anderberg's been pushing really hard this last lap, and from about halfway through this last lap, Bachmeyer seemed to just kind of back her down and coast his way through it to the checkered flag there.
So it's Bachmeyer, Anderberg, and here comes Ronnie Yamamoto across the line, riding a living room couch.
Good job by him, though. He gets the couch into third place.
Let's take it down to the Fasteners Incorporated Winner's Circle with Bruce and David.
Say, man, you made it look pretty easy out there.
Yeah, the key is get a good start and then kind of coast the rest of the way.
Well, and I got to tell you, it's kind of a shame to see this beautiful bike out there getting dirty.
Yeah, but Dick Mann wouldn't have it any other way.
Right.
When he built the bike, he says, no garage queens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
An absolutely picture-perfect day from Fairfield, Washington. Eddie, weather wasn't an issue.
No, it wasn't, and it sure wasn't an issue of who was having fun out here at all, because these guys were really getting after it and having a great time on some old vintage bikes. Really fun to see in a fun racing environment to be part of. Another year of race coverage here on SWX for us.
Yes, it was. And thank you for joining us here on SWX. For Bruce Deming, Eddie Wood, I'm Trip Rogers. Thanks for watching here on SWX. We'll see you soon.